Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about Altova MapForce. It's a powerful data integration and transformation tool used to visually map or convert and transform data between different data formats. This will eliminate the need of manually writing a code, the big size of code. So why I brought this topic? So in my project, we use this MapForce to convert the database query and map into the XSD file, like the XML schema file, and finally generating the XML output. That is the expectation, that is a use case actually. So if you see here, the database database to XML mapping using Altova MapForce, we can transform and generate the XML. That is a use case I want to discuss today, part of this discussion. Okay, so the key objective is like I'm going to query a database. Once it is queried and successfully connect to the database and retrieve the data, I'm going to map it with the XSD file, XSD structure, then generate. The third and final step is generate the XML from mapping the data. So the optional step is compile and run as solution to standalone Java application. That also I'm going to share it as a finishing touch, because if you want to repeat the this process again and again, you can use as an application instead of running through Altova. Like, because when you start developing the first time, you will generate within the MapForce, but once it is done, you can run as a standalone application. That is the idea behind it. Okay, so for this, like very first most step, I'm taking a simple database query. Okay, first step, like this is the like Oracle is the database I'm taking, department is the table, this is the structure of the table. Okay, this is the sample query I'm going to use it, simply selecting all the column from the departments table. And second step is I've already generated the sample XSD against the department table. Okay, so basically XSD you must be aware of, like it's like a rule definition for the XML for each data type, like what is the data type it should be, and it's a required field or non-required field, and what is the default information. Everything will be defined as per the rule book kind of. And step 3 is like loading, like once like we have to how to load all this, like step 1 and step 2, right? Like we need to add a database component, first most step. Okay, to connect with the querying of the database, whatever we discussed in the step 1, correct? We need to ensure, like I'm using a JDBC to do that. Like this is the option we need to navigate, like open a MapForce. But before to that, like we need to create a project, we have to create a mapping file, then on top of it we are going to do all this exercise, like inserting a database. Under that we are going to pass a JDBC thing. Okay, and this is the sample JDBC information with my local database, what I have it. I'm going to paste the query whatever we discussed in step 1. And step 2, like in in step 3, like the second item, we are going to add it like XSD file. We have the template, right, like step 2. So we are going to add that XSD file, and once it is done, we are going to map between the item number 1 to item number 2. So mapping field from source Oracle to XSD file. Okay, so once it is done, then the step 4 to validate the mapping, then we need to generate it. Okay, so this is how we are generating. Okay, so then, like a part of step 4, the output is generated and the validated mapping is accepted, and we are going to we are successfully able to achieve the output file. We can generate the code. Okay, for Java, like we discussed in the beginning, the optional step to create a standalone application, this is required. Okay, once the code has been generated, I'm taking Java as an Java technology. It's I'm using it for standalone application. Okay, then once it is ready, then compile Java application. Okay, like for example, this is where I am keeping my Java application folder. So this is how I'm going to compile Java. See, compiler with the package path. This is the package path, like com MapForce, and this is the main entry point application. Okay, so once I compiled it, the step 6 is I'm going to run the application. Okay, so make sure that the JDBC jar file is there under the lib folder. If it is not there, that is a prerequisite, you have to keep it. Okay, once it is ready, this is the way you're going to run it. Once it is run, like you will be seeing a small window like a standalone application. There you can click a start button to generate the XML file. Once it is done, the step 7, you will see the XML file generated. This is how. Okay, so the final quick glance, this is the steps which involves, like we discussed, like one is querying the database, second one is creating SSD and mapping and preview preview the XML as output, and compile and generate the code and run the application with the JDBC driver and get the final output. Okay, so let me go back to my Altova here. Okay, if I go back and open, like this is the project file I've created already. The project file name is HR, and this is the department mapping file document. If you see here, like I mentioned, this is the Oracle querying a database. Okay, this is the query I already written. Okay, like okay, you can select the statement and double click. So this is the statement I've already given. So from that, select start from departments. You could it has selected, like I already. Okay, so then if I and I already the XSD file also I mapped it. How I'm doing all these things, like if you go to insert and database, like you will see, this is how I set up the class path. This is the jar file, I have it, and the driver name you have to give it, like, and username and password, and JDBC URL you have to paste it like this. Once it is done, you can connect it. Simply it will connect it. Okay, it's already there, so it's asking to reuse it. Yeah, you can reuse it. That's it. Okay, once it is done, you can select you can write your own query or select the tables. This I've created my own query. Okay, that's how. Then the second step is, like, you need to insert the XML schema file. So in the XML schema file, you have to choose the file. So I already have the XSD file in my path, exercise MapForce. That's how I chose this department file. Once it is done, you have to simply map it from source to target. Here the source is Oracle and target is the XSD schema file. Okay, once it is done, then you can simply validate the mapping. If you see, you will see here the mapping validation successful. If there is any error, you need to fix it. Okay, so in case of any transformation, you can write. I'm not getting into that much level, but this is good for now. Once it is done, okay, you will see the output file here. You got it, right? So that's it. Like now, like if I want to, I already compiled it. So this is how I compiled the file. So I'm simply running that. Okay, so once I run, like this is how you see that. But since so this exception is expected because, like, I have to point the class path file correctly. So if I don't specify the class path file, it will fail. So be sure about the class path file correctly. Okay, so my JDBC file kept under this folder, so I'm just using the class path file correctly. So once it is done, if you start here, you will see it's successfully connected, and once it is connected, it's finished. So now if you go back to output folder here, you'll see the file got generated. That's it. This is how we can generate through the standalone process as well. Okay, I think this video really helpful for you. Like if you have any questions in this topic, let me know. I'm happy to help you. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel.